all having a great time. It is 2022. Happy New Year to everyone. I appreciate you all for showing up. All right, here I go. How you guys doing? This is Chris Brown, your real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur. I am hoping everyone is having a fabulous, but more than fabulous day. Appreciate you guys for being here today. We do have another episode of State of the Real Estate Market, things to consider before selling your home in 2022. This is a podcast YouTube channel that we not only talk about buying, selling, and investing in real estate, but we also talk about building generational wealth. And we talk about different hot topics on different entrepreneur activities that are going on in today's world. But today's topic is things to consider before selling your home in 2022. So let's go ahead and get started. 2022 is off to a fabulous start. So I'm hoping the same for everyone that is taking a look at this and going through this with me. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and start this presentation from the beginning. All right, as I stated, it is things to consider before selling your home. So I know a lot of people have been considering selling their home. And the reason being is because the market is so hot right now. So what are people doing? What are people doing, or why didn't they sell? This is the most money that a lot of people will be able to get for their homes at this time. Obviously, there is a little bit of a crunch. There is a little bit of a crunch just because of what is going on in the market. There's not a lot of inventory, and with there not being a lot of inventory, we typically run into issues. If you sell your home, where are you going to move to next? So with that being said, I'm going to give you guys some clues of what to do. All right, here we go, guys. So if you haven't already, please be sure to like and to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Be sure to do so. There should be a link at the bottom of this video where you can follow me on social media. There's different platforms that I'm on. There's different things that I'm doing. And there's a lot of times I'm giving just value, just information value. If you're thinking about selling your home, you're thinking buying a home, you're thinking about investing in real estate itself or building generational wealth, you definitely want to be in tune with that YouTube channel. All right, so let's talk about 9 items. I won't give you a full list of things to talk about today, but let's be sure to chit chat about a few of the more important things. If you guys are in the chat, be sure, if you guys got questions, be sure to add those to the chat there. I can see them and I can see you guys. So we want to make sure we get your questions answered there in the chat. I'm keeping an eye on it. But with that being said, let's get it. All right, ignoring repairs. So if you are thinking about selling your home, you don't want to do this mistake. The reason being is because if you're ignoring the repairs, especially major repairs, and I'm going to say major repairs because the thing is that people, when they're buying a home, it's an emotional process. And if they're deciding if they're going to pay for the home, then they may be willing to spend more. But if you can take the doubt, the buyer's doubt out of the process, they're going to be willing to pay a lot more for the home. So if you're trying to get top dollar, it's premium dollar for your home, that's one of the things you do not want to ignore, especially if it's a major repair. If it's a major repair, it's not necessarily that you have to take care of it, but at least let the potential buyer know about it and then let them make the decision if they're going to offer more. And a lot of times in today's market, that may be the case where they may not make it a big deal, but they want to be able to get the property. So keep that in mind. Overpricing. I have seen this even in today's market, that people are just throwing ridiculous prices that are out there. It's not necessary about you want to get the most for your home, but keep in mind that, hey, if you list your home, say if you listed at market value, okay, what that does is that's going to attract a lot more people, and that's going to create, especially in today's market, and that's going to create that buyer's frenzy where people are going to be throwing up the prices. Now, if you decide to jump out the gate and give a ridiculous price, a lot of people aren't even going to look at the home because they don't see the value in it. So you have to create the value. Well, one way of doing that is by considering placing it at the market price. And trust me, at the market price, people will um, add a lot more to it. So keep it in mind. In my market, it's a hot market right now. So people that have been overpricing, they've been staying on the market for a few weeks. And that's not something you want to do in today's market. And timing it correctly. This is a big thing. I know we all want to sell our homes, but if you want to get that higher price, a lot of times if you know another home sold for much more than yours, wait till that property actually sells and see what that final number is. Because if you're able to time it correctly, you'll be able to get more for your home, especially if that home is very similar. Basically, if it's a similar comp, you'll be able to get more for your home by timing it correctly. So have a better understanding of what properties are for sale, what properties are actually pending, and which ones actually sold. Because if you're trying to get an appraisal, if it's pending, it's not necessarily an ideal comp that you'll be able to use. So keep that in mind. Getting emotional. Try to take the emotions out of the process, especially in a market, today's market. You got to deal with the numbers, especially if you're trying to get premium dollar for your home. Deal with the numbers. Work with a real estate professional. Let them work with the more the emotions of everyone, the roller coaster, because selling or even buying a home right now, it's an emotional roller coaster. So try not to have so many emotions in the process when you are going through this. So that's 4. Let's go to number 5. Not hiring a professional photographer. So this is a mistake that a lot of people do. They decide not to hire a professional photographer. And I have some people that are selling their homes on their own, and they've been reaching out to me and asking me what my thoughts are. Now you would think, okay, I'm a real estate professional. Why are people calling me? Trust me, people call me and they ask because it's one of those things they find value in the videos that I provide. And they think, oh, if he can do it, I can do it. But keep in mind, guys, I do this every day. And you may not do this on a regular basis. And I've had to coach a few folks, and, just to not have that stigma out there. It's not something I do on a regular basis, but I've helped a couple of people that were in my circle and helped them get their property sold. And that being said, have a professional photographer. I always catch people, and the main picture that catches people is, one, I catch them in the kitchen. I see them in the microwave. They got the shiny microwave door. I see them taking the picture in the microwave. Ultimately, I always catch everybody in the bathroom. And then they send pictures up there where it's not decluttered. They think it's clean, but they got, all their stuff that was on the counter. In the same picture, you can see it on the floor. You want people to take you serious when you're going through this process. So hire a professional photographer. I always hire a professional photographer, doing video walkthroughs for the property, because that's going to attract a lot of my out-of-state buyers. They're going to feel that they're actually there. And that's how I get a lot of out-of-state offers. Not doing enough prep work. You always want to understand what the market is doing, understand what properties that are out there, what are comps, understand what people are willing to pay for, and then preparing just for the property to get sold. So it's a lot of detail when I say prep work, because there's a lot of things that happen before the property goes on the market. There's a lot of things that happen once it's on the market, once it's under contract, and then once it's actually sold. So it's multiple phases throughout that process. So keep that in mind, guys. Missing additional costs. So if you are thinking about selling a home, you have to understand that there may be costs with the actual home itself, may possibly repairs. Then you also have situations where you may have costs for closing, because there's taxes, depending upon where you are with your mortgage payment. There's the closing costs. So there's title work that is being done, depending upon the city, state that you're in, the owner's policy. It may be on the buyer, it may be on the seller. It depends on what's also in the contract, who's paying for what. If you're buying a home warranty, there's a lot of different costs that's out there. And when those costs pop up, it's not just $1 or $2. It's possibly a couple of thousand, maybe a few hundred, but whatever it is, keep that in mind. Make sure that you understand the total cost that is involved. All right. Woo! So excited, so exciting. And then doing a SWOT analysis. So a lot of people aren't doing this when they're looking at properties or wanting to have properties sold. They're not doing this because you want to know why, what your property strengths are, what the weaknesses are, and then what opportunities, and then obviously the threats as well. So that's what SWOT stands for. And if you have a lot of strengths for your home, or you have special strengths for your home, special features, as most people will call it, you want to be able to highlight those. Those special features are going to attract certain buyers. And when you're attracting those certain buyers, they may be looking for those specific features, and they're willing to pay a premium dollar for that. So be sure to understand what features your property has, what possible weaknesses that it has, and then there may be some opportunities that may be low cost to you. So keep that in mind. A lot of people, I tell them, especially with my clients, I'm like, hey, we're working together. These are a couple of suggestions right here. These are going to be some low price opportunities for us that we can do that's going to help give us that wow factor when we're trying to sell your home. And then there's some bigger items that are weaknesses. And it's like, hey, this is going to cost a big penny. Obviously, we know the ideal home to make it a 10, we would do this. But are we willing to do this depending upon our budget and what we're able to do? And then understanding the return if we did do that. So keep that in mind. And then ultimately, last one there, it is landscaping. So I've spoken to, at least in my market, I'm in the Tampa Bay market. So being in the Tampa Bay market, I deal with people on a regular basis that have landscaping issues. And they're like, hey, I'm not going to do this. So then have an understanding when you may be able to sell your home where the landscaping won't be as bad. Sometimes it may just be adding some fertilizer in the beginning of the process to your grass, adding the fertilizer to your grass, especially during the rainy season in Florida. You're getting rain and you're giving it nutrients on a regular basis. So if you're preparing your home, you'll be surprised over a month how fast grass grows in the state of Florida during the rainy season, especially during the summertime. So adding some fertilizer, some grass seed to it, whatever you may have, or even if you have the St. Augustine, grass seeds may not work, but if you have the St. Augustine, having it grow is a big thing for us. So keeping the landscaping, pressure washing, that's another thing on the exterior. It's basically the curb appeal when I say landscaping. So what makes the house glow when people drive by, when people are walking up to the front door, keeping it in mind, pressure washing the exterior of the property. By doing that, you're giving it a little bit of a glow. We don't realize that, hey, after we've lived in our homes for a number of years, we're like, oh, my house isn't dirty. But once you start to pressure wash it and you look at it afterwards, it's like, oh, it's got a little brightness to it. So keep that in mind. But these are the 9 opportunities I'm going to tell people. These are the 9 things to consider that before placing your home on the market and before selling your home. Ultimately, with us having a shortage in the real estate market at this time of inventory, and having an abundance of buyers, if you're placing that property out, if you're placing your home on the market for sale and you're staying in the area, make sure you have a transition. I know it's easier said than done. Make sure you have a transition home. Make sure you know where you're going. There are ways of getting deals done, even if you're trying to sell a home. There's different bridge opportunities that you can utilize. Hopefully you're working with a knowledgeable real estate professional that will be able to go through that process with you. There's so many different programs that are out there that you guys should consider. But those are some things that I wanted to chit chat to you guys about, especially here early in 2022. This is the first episode of State of the Real Estate Market. So I definitely appreciate you guys being on board. If you haven't already, guys, be sure to like and to subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's going to be so much information. I'm also on Facebook. I have a Facebook page where I do Facebook Lives as I'm posting different properties that are available. With the market moving so fast, a lot of times I'm not able to do such a presentation to give you guys more insight. So keep that in mind. It's a fast moving market. So a lot of times I'll post information and I want you guys to have that information. So keep that in mind. Follow me on Facebook. My handle is at Chris Brown RE Pro. Instagram, at Chris Brown RE Pro. And feel free to reach out to me. My website is there, realestatewithchrisbrown.com. Take a look at it. Let me know what you guys think. Reach out to me. Set an appointment. I do virtual appointments if you want to be able to sit down and chat with me. I understand the market is moving fast these days, and I want to make sure that if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me. And especially if you are in the Tampa Bay market and you are thinking about buying, selling, or even investing in real estate, check out realestatewithchrisbrown.com. You guys have a great day. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being around. I will be keeping you guys all in the loop for 2022, just bringing you additional value. And if you guys have questions, do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. I'm looking to see if we got any questions out there, guys. No questions, no questions. All right, no questions that are out there. But hey, guys, just let me know what you guys think. 2022, have questions, send me a message. I'll make sure I'll address it. Take care, guys.